The Cubist movement challenged age-old artistic styles and rejected conventional ideas. These artists wanted to revitalize art so that it would be more in line with the modern age. They would go on to create the first abstract style in modern art. The Cubist movement reached its creative peak between 1907 and 1914, and it continues to influence artists to this day. At the turn of the 20th century, artists found themselves in a fast-paced and ever-changing modern world. Technological advances, political changes, and dramatic changes within social structures were all happening at this time. Photography was increasingly being used for portraiture and to document historical and everyday events, so it was only natural for painters to turn to other themes. The leading artists of the day, Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque, felt that a new artistic style was needed to connect with a modern audience and reflect the struggles of modern life. Inspired by post-impressionist Paul Cézanne, Cubist artists deviated from the three-dimensional perspective that had been the norm in art since the Renaissance. They instead painted two-dimensional figures from multiple perspectives to convey a sense of totality in a uniquely modern way. Cubist artists simplified natural forms into geometric shapes like cylinders, spheres, and of course cubes. The movement got its name from a French critic who, upon viewing Braque's 1908 landscape paintings, commented on the liberal use of cubes. Cubists had a new approach to painting time, volume, mass, and space. Instead of attempting to duplicate images, Cubists attempted to distill the essence of their subjects with abstract forms. For example, instead of painting a breakfast table as a three-dimensional flat surface topped with realistic dishes, Juan Gris' Breakfast depicts a fragmented table, complete with fragmented, multicolored dishes with wallpaper spilling onto both. This invites viewers to contemplate not the beauty or reality of the scene, but the essence or feeling of a breakfast table set with dishes. Common characteristics seen in Cubist paintings and sculpture are the liberal use of geometric forms, distorted and fragmented objects, and multiple perspectives of the same scene. Frontal, profile, and composite or stacked. Paintings in particular were distinguished by their two-dimensional flatness and paper collage. These same ideas influenced early 20th century literature and shaped the styles of authors such as Gertrude Stein, William Faulkner, and Guillaume Apollinaire. Modernist literature drew inspiration from the multiple perspectives and disjointed figures of Cubist paintings, applying similar ideas to their stories through the use of repetition, abstract language, and multiple narrators. Many Cubist paintings feature musical instruments and sheet music, highlighting the significance of music in these artists' lives. Igor Stravinsky's music mirrored the innovations of visual Cubist art with its chaotic ragtime rhythms. In 1913, when America's first modern art show was held at the 69th Regiment Armory on East 25th Street, the public was scandalized, surprised, curious, shocked, and interested in equal parts. One of the pieces displayed at this show was compared by former President Roosevelt to a Navajo rug in his bathroom. This piece, Duchamp's Nude Descending a Staircase, was already in the eye of a storm since it had received some scathing criticism from many other Cubist artists, including Duchamp's brother. However, the movement would gain popularity and acceptance gradually as a result of subsequent art movements. Pablo Picasso was one of the most influential Cubist painters and is often credited with inventing the Cubist style. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon was one of the major works to inspire the movement. If you look closely at this painting, you'll see that the women's faces look like abstract African masks. In fact, Picasso was heavily influenced by masks from sub-Saharan Africa, and his work took on a primitivist character. Primitivism was the idea that non-Western people were closer to nature and more sensual. The masks and figures were a common feature of earlier post-impressionist art. Another influential Cubist painter was Fernand Léger, whose abstract figures are particularly colorful. His 1919 painting, The City, foreshadows futurist art with its stress on the relationship between man and the machine, and the harshness of the modern metropolis. The city depicts a juxtaposition of city scenes such as metal beams, highways, pipes, and flights of stairs, all seen from multiple perspectives and drawing viewers' eyes to each chaotic element. Cubism was a radical deviation from the art of the past and received its share of scathing criticism. The majority of the public simply did not understand what the fuss was about. But no matter how controversial this artistic style was, no matter how many people criticized it, Cubist art has established itself firmly. The innovative perspectives, the completely different techniques, and the stunning outputs that resulted ensured that Cubism became a part of our artistic heritage, inspiring such outgrowths as Futurism, Constructivism, Dada, and Surrealism. Cubism was the most influential artistic movement of the 20th century.